Alright, people, so somebody asked me to do a rant on John Laurinitis. Um, and what is there to really rant on John Laurinitis too much? I mean, he did botch, I think. I think it's hard for me to remember how great how the quality of his promos and shit, but I remember he did botch a lot, I believe, and he had the big feud with CM Punk. He was Raw General Manager until he was taken out by of course, John Cena dethroning. It's always John Cena coming to the rescue, isn't it? Always John Cena getting his shit involved in these main storylines and feuds. You can't fucking make a wrestling video, I don't think, without John Cena's name coming up, because he's just involved in fucking every big thing in wrestling. It's ridiculous. So yeah, John Cena once again. Whether you think John Laurinaitis was good or not, John Cena buries John Laurinaitis, just like he's buried numerous other people throughout the years. So there you go, people. I mean, John Laurinaitis, certainly better than a fucking Triple H, I think. I mean, he was better because he wasn't on TV as much, I don't think, as Triple H. He's fucking Triple H comes out there just so fucking boring and repetitive every week. John Laurinaitis, I mean, at least he wasn't a Triple H, I don't believe. So, I mean, there's not much to rant on here, I don't think. I mean, it's not like I have a big grudge against John Laurinaitis or anything like that. So, and back then when John Laurinaitis was general manager, I was more towards the Mark side of everything. So, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to quality as much of the promos as I am now. So, again, there's not much to rant on here. He did take a fucking, he wasn't a fucking match with fucking John Cena in a main event. Yeah, there you go. That's great for you. That's your typical WWE right there. Put a fucking 10-year retired wrestler in the main event of a fucking pay-per-view. Oh, great idea, people. Yeah, who would have fucking paid $45 to see that shit? Fucking John Laurinaitis in the main event. It's just like, why would you put that guy in the main event when you have talent like Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro? Why would you put a fucking 10-year retired wrestler in a main event of a pay-per-view when you have great talent? It's called a wrestling show. That means they're supposed to be, especially on the pay-per-view, they call it an entertainment show. I think it's a wrestling show. Whatever you want to call it, I don't fucking know. But I think that the fucking pay-per-views especially should be primarily just wrestling. There shouldn't really be any promos, because the promos are supposed to build to a match, and so the pay-per-views are the climax of that. So there shouldn't be really any promos, I don't think, on a pay-per-view. So why would you put John Laurinaitis in the main event? I mean, it's not supposed to be a fucking promo, or it's not supposed to be a fucking, comedy thing or whatever. The main event of a pay-per-view should be some fucking awesome wrestling between two really good wrestlers who have been building up to this match for at least a few weeks now, and have been really, getting us excited for this match. Not John Laurinaitis. I mean, that is just a fucking, just the worst fucking idea. Oh yeah, and then put Cena in the main event. Yeah, just keep shoving Cena down our motherfucking throats. I mean, it just gets so repetitive. Oh, and then, they say history repeats itself. I think they usually say history repeats itself in, I believe, a few generations, or I don't know, something like 40 years or something like that. But it repeated itself in fucking 2 years here, because John Cena fucking, he was up against John Laurinaitis. He beat him. And then he beat the Authority. So there you go, people. Just the same shit. Cena's beating the top evil guy. Yeah, and with Laurinaitis, it was kind of similar. Laurinaitis wasn't GM for as long as the Authority were in charge, but it was still similar, because John Laurinaitis is like this guy who nobody can take down. I mean, then Cena comes. Oh, and it was Vince McMahon came back too and made the match back then too. Holy shit, is that? Oh, you know what I was doing too? I was like, this John Cena and Seth Rollins is so similar to Dolph. Oh, it's so fucking similar to the Dolphs. It's so many parallels. One, it was at TLC. It was it a TLC match? I think it was just a table, but it wasn't. The match at TLC wasn't a regular match, I guess you could say. Both of them were Money in the Bank. Both of I guess John Cena won against Rollins. John Cena lost against Ziggler, but John Cena, both for Money in the Bank. Both faced each other in a steel cage match after their TLC match. Both were buried by John Cena, especially Ziggler. I mean, at least Rollins did win. I mean, there's just so many fucking parallels to the Dolph Ziggler feud from 2012 with Cena as there is now with Seth Rollins. I mean, I was thinking about that. It's like so fucking similar. And like Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler, they're like both the same build too. I mean, pretty kind of shorter guys, but both very athletic. Both could sell pretty good too. I mean, Rollins could sell a clothesline pretty good, I believe. He does that little spinny shit. Rollins has some good moves. They're both good wrestlers, and so I mean, getting a little bit off topic here, but yeah, John Laurinitis. There's your rant on the executive vice president of talent relations and the interim general manager of Monday Night Raw. So there you go, people.